Hi everyone, Steven here. We're going to attempt to install a trunk pan inside the 73 Mustang. Stick around for the video because I actually found out something. There's actually two different types of pans out there. And I didn't know that at the time I purchased mine, which was quite a long time back. So stick around, we'll see you soon. Thank you. So we're going to take a look at the trunk. This is part of the trunk replacement. Now, you look here, it's pretty dirty, and I actually cleaned it. Somebody decided, hey, you know what's a good idea? Let's put a gallon of tar inside here, and that will fix everything, right? But what's really funny is let's put it inside the trunk and not outside. So if you throw a suitcase in here, it's getting filthy. So this is kind of disgusting. But anyways, if you look here, you can probably barely pick it up on a camera. Somebody has put in a patch here, all the way around here. Looks like there's some kind of little patch up here. There's another patch over here. It's obvious underneath when you take a look at it. I removed the gas tank and the bumper and all that stuff. So I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to do a complete trunk pan replacement here. And I'll take you along for the journey. Let's take a look at what it looks like underneath. But before we do that, again, you see, well, you know, I'll get into wheel wells and trunk drop-offs and stuff later, but the trunk drop-off feels like it's original, but there is rot. I can feel it. I do have some new drop-offs. Those usually go, but we'll save that conversation for later. Let's take a look at what it looks like from the underneath, okay? So here's the view from the bottom. Obviously, the gas tank, which is right here, is gone. I removed that, right? You can actually see the welds where they welded patches on from above. Over here, you can see it's just obvious, right? But the funny thing is, like, yeah, let's throw a patch on it without removing all the rust, right? You know, let's cut out the panel or anything like that. So all that's, like I said, all this is going to be gone. The replacement trunk, that does not come with this here. This is where the gas tank straps go in. Gas tank straps look good. I can clean them up. This looks good. I'll have to remove it from this here, and clean it up and weld it onto the replacement. But apart from that, it's a lot of work. Not looking forward to the tar part because I really hate that. The frame rails look good and stuff like that. So that's the main thing. Here's the drop off. Say, look at that. They just tar the crap out of it, right? Tar again on this side. That's the way to fix things, right? But anyways, I got replacements for that I bought many moons ago. So the next time you see this, I'm going to use a plasma cutter. What I'm going to do here is use a plasma cutter. I'm going to cut it from underneath here, right? So I'm going to start like right along here, so I don't get into the frame, right? So I'll just do a rough cut. I'll probably cut up to about here. I'll have to take this off first. Yeah, I'll cut up to around here where the curve starts, and then cut across. And then the main thing, I don't want to be cutting into these frames, right? That's the main thing. So I'll use my plasma, do that cutting across and across here, and then take a look at it afterwards. So the next time you folks see it, this will not be in there. Everything should be out, and I'll have it cleaned up, and we'll talk about it at that point. See y'all in a bit. Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. I've done a lot of cleaning. Got rid of a lot of that tar. I still got a sandblast inside these rails, right? There are rails. Let me get underneath here and give you a better view. This is inside the trunk now, so the lighting's really bad. Let me see what I can do about that. There we go. So got rid of a lot of the tar in here. It was just effing caked up like crazy. You can see I got some rot along here. This is a bracket. There's bolts that come out of here that holds the rear light on. This is the right side, passenger side. Driver's side, it's Driver's side is a whole whack better. I actually did a little bit of experimenting with some sandblasting, right? When I look at the rails are fine, except for the one in the back. Again, I got a lot of pinholes here. I notice all these pinholes as I started cleaning, obviously, right? It looked good before. Once I started cleaning, you can see that the pinhole started. So I'll probably cut a patch. I'll probably cut out a section here and put a nice patch in. There's a couple of pinholes. I'll see if I can just fill them with weld. If not, I'll cut out a patch. But for the most part, she's pretty solid, right? There's a couple other, you can't really see it, but there's another hole right there. That's a clean spot. There's a hole right there. This side here doesn't look too bad. So let me finish things up, and next time you see this, it should be all cleaned up and primed on the inside and ready for the pan to go in. So we'll see you back in a bit. Hi everybody. So it's been cleaned up. Well, we already saw that, but I actually, again, sandblasted inside the rails. Let's move this over here. Inside the rails, I sprayed primer inside them, and I also, that's again Weld 2 primer that's on the top. And again, you can see the rails here along the back. So now I got to install the pan. Now before I do that, let's go over to the pan. Get my camera, using my little 360 here. So there's the trunk pan. And what I did is, obviously you see it's all been Weld 2 primers have been sprayed on it. I actually cleaned this up. It wasn't covered. It didn't have any coating on it, so I had to clean it up quite a bit. I had some surface rust on it because I bought this thing, what, 12 or 15 years ago. I can't remember. It's quite a long time back. So it was sitting around for quite a bit. Now, so what I did is I popped it inside the trunk, and I put some weight in it, got it pretty much where I want it, and I marked out where the frame rails were, right? And then obviously I drilled through, and I sprayed it with Weld 2 primer as well. Now, one of the things I noticed, actually, let me pause this, and I'm going to flip this upside down, or right side up, and then we'll take it from there, okay? Hey everybody. Okay, I've got the pan right side up. This is the rear of the vehicle, where the gas filler is. You can see I've got all my holes drilled out for my plug welds. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the introduction, there's actually 2 different types of pans available for Mustangs. I did not know this. I bought this pan probably 12 or 15 years ago. I can't remember, a while back, quite a while back. So at the time, I think there was only one, but that's all I could find. The differences between them is the length, right? The number, and I'll put this up on the screen, the part number on this one is M438A. It's an apple, right? So M438A. And there's a normal one. There's another one, M438. And I've seen this at Spectra. I'll leave a link in the comments, or I'll just put it up on the thing here. Oh, a little chipmunk. Anyways, main difference here is the length, right? Now, the Spectra site said this one here, the M438A, which I have, is 31 inches long. It's actually longer. It's about 32 inches. And the other one, the longer version, is about 38 inches. I don't have one of those, but I could tell the differences because you see this one over here, you got this recessed piece. It's actually cut out, so the cut is right there, the recessed piece, same thing over there. Whereas the M438, the longer version, comes out, the recess is complete, and it goes up to the actual lip that's in the pan. So when you look inside the trunk, the original pan, it does have a lip on it. Okay, so what's the downside of this? The downside of this longer one, and I've actually seen a link on YouTube where a gentleman was actually installing it, and it would not fit inside the trunk unless you remove the rear light assembly, right? So let me go over to the trunk here. Unless you cut this open, then slide the pan in, right? This here on mine looks pretty decent, a little dirty and rusty, but I can clean that up. So I didn't really want to go down that route right now. I was thinking about it, but I was able to actually get mine into this opening by angling it in. You'll also notice by the wheel wells there, I've cut those out. So this is my inner wheel wells on both sides. I've cut them out. And the reason for that is where they met the trunk, they were rusted. The wheel well looks like it's in good shape, to be honest with you. I'll do another video on that on its own. But I'm just going to cut out a portion of it. I do have replacement wheel wells, both in or in out, or you can see them on the floor over there, okay? But I don't think I need to replace the complete inner one because that looks like it could be a pain in the butt for no good reason. I'll analyze that later. Then I'll cut out the sections I need and butt weld it together so it's nice and straight. So you can see over here where I've cut the original trunk and there's the little recesses, right? Okay. So I cut all those out. I'm going to do a butt weld across there. And again, people are going to ask, why are you doing butt welds, Steve? I'm practicing for when I get to do my quarters, right? So I'm getting better at the butt welds. So let me get the pan in. I need 2 hands for that. I can't do that with the camera, but it's mainly a matter of angling it in. And I've got that extra space over here where I can slide it in. I did get it installed. I did get it in without cutting those, but I found that this part here, the wheel well comes out and then it goes back in. So you have to flex the pan a bit. Oh, yeah, and that brings another thing to mind here. The pan, here's the original over here. It's all rotted. And I've already pointed this out. Here's this little, again, I'll call it a brace for the gas tank straps, and some other mounting points here as well down at the bottom. Again, the replacement ones don't come with these. So I got to take these off, clean them up, and put them on. Now you might be saying, hey, Steve, wouldn't it make more sense to do that before you put the pan in? And it would. It would make more sense for me to cut this out, clean it up, weld it on nice, on a flat surface and that. Problem is when I do that, then I can't flex the pan anymore to get it installed, right? So if I was replacing the rear light assembly there, I would probably do this, get it all ready just to slide in, but I'm not. I'll just clean it up and I'll do it while it's on the vehicle. I've got a lift, so it's not a big deal for me, right? Just have to weld upside down. That's it. So I'm going to leave that. I'll probably put that in a separate video when I do the trunk drop-offs, and I'll leave it at that. So this video will get this pan in, and that's it. So I'll bring it back once I've got it kind of in position there, okay? Hello everybody, we're back and the trunk pan is installed. As you can see, came out pretty good, kind of pleased with it. I was worried about this crease over here lining up the top there. I did a butt weld. I grinded it down as much as I figured I should do. So it lined up really nice. Also, there's another opening over here. Let me kind of zoom in on it. You see the recess there in the metal. And the opening right there's the recess right there. And I wasn't sure if I should cut it out or just fill that in. So I figured, you know what, I don't have to make the decision today. I'll make sure I get the cap for it. I'll see how it fits. And then I'll make the decision at that point whether I should cut it out or fill it in. That's about it. Now, what I did when I put it in, you can see the spot welds along here, or not, well, the plug welds anyways. If you look really close, you could see them, right along here on the frame. So I did all that. What I did, the main thing what you want to do is make sure that this thing is flat. So you seen before I put it in, I had drilled all the holes for the plug welds. And roughly about every second hole, I used self-tapping screws and screwed it down. I got the hexagon ones, and I screwed them down to make sure everything was flat. Technically, I started from the back here. I worked my way along the sides. And then once I got to the top, I did basically, I kind of got it down as much as I could on the top there. And I kind of started from the center and worked my way out. Not that it's if it can go over here. But that's it. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. That's the trunk pan install. I hope you found it beneficial. Hit that thumbs up if you found this entertaining. Again, please subscribe to the channel if you're watching this stuff. I know I get a lot of views, but there's not a whole lot of subscribers, so hit the subscribe button. It does me a great favor by doing that. You'll see the next video. I'm gonna start tearing into quarter panels and wheel wells. I still have my trunk drop offs to do, so we're gonna have a bunch of videos coming up pretty soon, all on tearing this apart, doing drop offs, doing the wheel wells. I got to clean them up, see how bad they are. I'm figuring the outside ones are brutal. The insides, you'll see I cut out there; they're rusted. So I'll take a look. I might just replace that one section or just say hell with it and do the whole thing. That's it. So have a great day, folks. Bye for now.